Carlos, his family friends are from El Salvador, and they lived there up until about 10 years ago. And initially, it was the husband who came here in search of a job in order to financially support his wife and his daughter, who, was a newborn. Um, and he came here and started doing badly. He had like no place to stay, wasn't making good money. So then his wife, who was at the time with their newborn baby, decided to leave her daughter in El Salvador with the husband's parents and decided to come here to like help him out. But since they both came here undocumented, they were never really able to go back for their daughter, who at the time was a baby, but now it's been like 9-10 years, so they haven't seen her. They haven't seen her since then. And now the question is, if they were able to bring their daughter to the United States, would she thrive in this environment? She didn't grow up here. All she knows is El Salvador with her grandparents. And that's the environment that she's grown up in. And to come here would kind of take her out of that place. But then on the other hand, you don't know if she'll have the same opportunities in El Salvador as she would here. And their family is split because of, a border that says that they can't be together, but and there's no way to like reunite them, or no easy way. And it's a really common story. It happens a lot, and they're definitely not the only people that we know who are in that kind of situation, whether it's a mother who's here or, sons, daughters, fathers, it's just a lot of splitting of families. So I made this about my parents' immigrant experience. Even though I didn't include detail, this is supposed to be the Salvadorian and Guatemalan flag. So the painting is divided in half, really. And this is to my mom, and this is to my dad, as like the pillars. So that's my mom, my dad, and the earth, which are my grandmothers. So kind of like the beginning of everything, like Mother Earth. And the broken pillars are my grandfathers, because they weren't really in the picture for either of my parents. So people like working the land, and these are coffee beans, because so much of Latin culture is, or at least of my parents, is surrounded by, working in the fields and picking coffee beans. So the books represent education, and that's me. And if you look at this flower, is supposed to be that of prosperity, so it's being cut because I guess in my parents' countries there wasn't that much of a chance at prosperity, but I have flowers because that represents kind of like the opportunities being passed on to me. And the border, which is back here. So this painting does have a name, To Be Deflowered, and it's about a female experience of when a woman, loses her virginity, that she is deflowered. And I just find that term silly, honestly. The idea that we put so many labels on things that we really just end up oppressing women and stripping them of sexual agency. Yeah, I think that's basically what is represented by the flowers being cut. And also the idea that the uterus leads to life. So that's why there's, like flower. So I think it plays all of that together. So, to be deflowered. My dad just feels that he missed a lot of time that he could have spent with his mom, who recently passed, and his sister and his brother, to come here. It just took him like a really long time, and then people are, say, oh, why don't they come here legally and do it the right way, because it takes so long. You don't have 17 years to waste when, there's people shooting, each other outside your door. You don't have that kind of time. You don't have that kind of time when you're getting older and you need an education and you can't get it here. You can't wait 17 years, to then be like, oh, okay, now I have it. Now I can go and continue my life. You don't have that kind of time. So, yeah, it took him way too long, to say the least. And then my mom hated it here. She really hated it because she had grown an attachment to my aunt who was raising her in Guatemala. And then when she came here, she hated both her biological mom and this place and school and everyone. So leaving home was, at 11, you don't know why your mom would leave you. You can't wrap your head around the fact that your mother would leave in order to give you, like financial resources. So my mom was really, really hurt by it. She just didn't want to come here.